The only fire that we ever lit intentionally was in two places. We used to burn the river bottom off. Basically, this whole strip here, we've run fire through there to get rid of understory brush, which was mostly wild rose and snowberry. That was for cattle. It to increase the, it was really so thick there wasn't a lot of grass. The fire got away from us a couple of times, so we quit doing that, burned down our fence and caused a lot of trouble. One other place we used it is up on this ridge right here, we burned off some of this ground up here that was in sagebrush. That didn't work, wasn't very successful either, so we went back and sprayed that out and then farmed out that sagebrush. It's coming back in now. Because we came back and reseeded it into tame grasses right after that. So it was, we didn't have a weed problem near as much on our natives, on our species that we planted. It was easier to keep the weeds out of those than it was the native range. We've had several lightning strike fires, none of which have really gone anywhere, done much harm. The latest one was right in this draw. He hit the 500 kilovolt power lines that was through and blew a bunch of burning wood off of one of the towers and caught a fire there, which was pretty lucky that it didn't. We got some rain in that storm and it kept the fire down. It burned maybe 10 acres. We saw it burning and people were calling us, so we got right on it and got it corralled. It was a good thing that it didn't get up in the timber, because then it would have probably really went. But there's been some fires behind us, back behind Baldy, that burned off in the 60s. That was a big fire. Now this is Baldy Mountain right here, so it was the back side of this. Between the Davis Creek, South Fork of Davis Creek was on the back side of Baldy to the South Fork of Davis Creek. That was a several hundred acre fire that burned that. That was all, at that time I believe it was Anaconda Company owned all of the timber base. And then in the 60s sometime, I believe, they sold all that to Champion International. Champion International went in there and then started logging in the 60s. And then they sold it out to Plum Creek. Yeah, I think they had smoke jumpers on it, and they had fire crews in there that finally got it put out.